Chairman Wang, thank you very much for hosting us at your headquarters, and good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for your kind visit.
Well, our team did a bit of research, and the presence of TECO in the country actually began in a simple matter in 1969, I understand, as a joint venture with Yaskawa of Japan. And since then, my understanding is it's grown by leaps and bounds, and now you have 16,000 workers, over 250 locators. But a lot of that growth came with the advent of the Ramos administration. Can you tell us how that came to be?
Yes. Well, this group was founded in the year of 1959, 10 years earlier.
Earlier, yes.
Yeah. And we started off as a motor manufacturer in Taiwan.
Yes.
And after 8 or 9 years, so we started to expand and try to internationalize. So we have extended our effort to the Southeast Asia. And together with our government, we were also encouraged by Taiwan government to come into the Philippines and to establish an industrial park, which is now very, very known, Subic Gateway Park. Dr. O, is that, from time to time they change the name. But anyway, it's a Subic Park.
Subic Bay Industrial Park.
Industrial Park. And it's I would say it's a very successful project and benefit both Taiwanese industries and also the local Filipino, especially these area, Orangopo and Batang area. They are enjoying the very good fruits, and I'm sure there will be some more success. It will be more evident, very clear.
But Chairman Wang, one thing that strikes a lot of economic historians is how in the early 1990s, when it was making the transition from a military base, the largest naval water base of the U.S. in Asia, to an actual economic zone, there was a lot of risk involved, and a lot of uncertainty. And yet, I think the Taiwanese government and industry, led by yourself, decided to come to the Philippines and invest.
Right.
What was the role of President Fidel Ramos in enticing and encouraging that investment and your confidence?
I understand this special project was initiated by Taiwanese government and your government. And then among your government's top officials, I think President Ramos was most enthusiastic, and he is being very, I would say, very enthusiastic and also very constructive, always guide us up. And then he has a very good communication with our government people, including Vincent Shaw and P.K. Chang. That time he was economic minister. And we have the blessing from both government. And it was a very nice, good success. However, during the course of development, we also encounter some difficulties. For instance, always have power problem, water problem. The people, we don't have any problem with this human resource, but we also have this labor dispute.
Yes, with the unions and others.
Yeah. But every time we talk to your Industrial Development Bureau, EDB, and they've been very friendly and always encouraging us. And your government even sent out your labor minister to come to Taiwan and to please to explain all our industrialists or businessmen in Taiwan. So they become very much rest assured.
Yes.
that was a big help. Yeah.
Well, Chairman Wang, when you had two roles at that time, you were heading a conglomerate and a company, but at the same time you were coordinating also with other investors, a team of investors who were looking at investing, ASUS, Acer, and the other firms who
Yes.
are now legends in the Philippine manufacturing sector. What was the feedback among your peers and your colleagues as to how the Ramos administration inspired a little more confidence for them to come into the Philippines through Subic?
President Ramos was very warm, and he was also always very enthusiastic to encourage our people through Senator Gordon. Senator Gordon was very helpful, very instrumental.
At that time, he was the SBMA chairman.
Yes. He was my counterpart.
Yes.
And he led this Subic Metropolitan
Bay Metropolitan Authority, yes.
Authority, and later on they become our partner for this development company. And so the basic is provided by Filipino side,
Yes.
but on the top, the infrastructure was built in, introduced by us, Taiwanese side. And this is a very good combination, very good matching. So now 90% investors are from Taiwan. And also, maybe it's a more, 10% to 15 are from the local Philippines, and some Japanese. So this is a very sophisticated mix, and we like it that way.
Well, Chairman, I mean, it seems to be that you had a good foundation building and groundbreaking that partnership. I'd like to get some insights from you in terms of how the President himself was personally involved in making sure that that path towards foreign direct investment through Subic and beyond happened a little more smoothly. Could you give us some examples?
Yes, the strong sign of his kind guidance and assistance, that should be clear that every day he almost led a team and to come to visit our people, both our government and also from the private sectors. And he was very skillfully handling all this by sponsoring a golf tournament, giving these golf balls to everyone with his
seal, yes.
seal, yes. And also he has given us several of his books and urging us to study, to understand better, and in doing business and in creating the relationship with the Philippine side. He's a tremendous person. And I also later on I met with him in China. He was a chairman for this special I forgot the name.
The BOA Forum?
BOA,
Yes.
yeah. BOA Forum was led by him also. So he's been very, very energetic. I really admire him, respect him.
Chairman Wang, when you go beyond the institutional and the industrial to the personal, I want to understand how did you begin that relationship? What it was like the first time you met him, and how did that friendship grow?
Probably the first time I met with him was led by Vincent Shaw, and I went to the president's office, and he was so kind. And in Taiwanese we say no jiazi, no style. You see? Very, very friendly.
Okay, friendly.
Yes. And that was touching. And then later on, not only the Taiwanese friends they were all very touched by him. I also brought some Japanese friends, my close friends, and everyone becomes his great fan. They all like him, especially when he comes to making a joke. Everyone enjoy that. Yeah. So he is the biggest asset of the Philippines.
I appreciate those comments, and I think one of the things beyond his humor is also the way he's very straightforward. Could you tell us about the kind of dealings you've had? Because not everything was all happy moments. I'm sure there were challenges also in making sure your investments were protected. Can you talk to me about his leadership style in making sure you felt at ease in doing business in the Philippines?
Well, I think he handled the whole things in a very delicate way, very sophisticated way. He doesn't give you a direct instruction or whatever. Through Mr. Gordon or someone who is in charge. But every time we talk to him, he will carefully listen. But he didn't give you the instruction right away. But sometime later, and the answer will come back to us. And all very positive. It's been very, very helpful. Without his kind guidance, I don't think we will have the picture of Subic today.
Yes, it's very methodological in terms of the approach. Now, we look at the presidency, and it's a 6-year presidency. A lot had been done, but what do you feel that he could have done more had he had a longer term?
Yes.
What was an opportunity that may have been missed out on?
I think in the U.S. they have
2 4-year terms. Yeah.
2 4 years.
Yes.
I think at least he should be there for 8 years, 2 4 years terms.
Yes.
But after he come down as a president, he has been, I think, also like the teacher, godfather behind the
statesman,
scene. Yes, and guiding all your important, not only the public sector officials, also he's been very respected by the private sector people also.
Yes.
Yeah. So I hope he will stay healthy and still guiding your country, and then we also always look forward to meet with him. It's a great honor and also very, very pleasant to meet with him. Also Mrs.
Yes.
Yes.
The First Lady, yes.
The First Lady, yes.
Chairman Huang, when you think about the end of the Ramos term and you had all these long-term investments, manufacturing, locators, infrastructure, what did you feel that he provided that the rest of the future administrations had carried on that kept your investments growing in the Philippines and your colleagues growing in the Philippines?
I understand he always take the initiatives and to guide us. And whenever we have some difficulties, he is very delicately handling that from behind the scene to help us and also to encourage us. Therefore, despite of the fact that we face some difficulties, we are always rest assured the things will be solved, and our requirement will be also fulfilled. And but in the course of you are a democratic country, so every 6 years you have a change of the leaders, and now we've been there also 20 some years. Sometimes you don't have such kind of quality government.
Yes.
But he was setting the standard at the beginning, and I hope that from now on, this spirit and this structure should be strengthened.
Well, you were actually, the track record speaks for itself from the 1990s to today. It's been a steady, consistent presence and investment.
Yes.
Now, if I can go back to the personal relationship, ever since the end of his presidency and his chairmanship of the BOA conference, can you talk to me about the relationship that you've had? Have you kept in touch? And what is it like having to engage the former president?
Well, first of all, he's very skillful and experienced leaders. So he enjoyed a very positive reputations among mainland Chinese people and Taiwanese, and also some other people. For instance, there are some other members from other countries beyond Taiwan and the PRC. But President Ramos was very, very experienced, and he keeps the harmony very, very well. And I really respect him. Without him, Boao is a little bit not so...
more imbalanced.
Yes, yes. He was a great coordinator, and very good adhesive,
Yes.
connecting all
All the stakeholders within the region.
Yes, together.
Yes. Chairman, more on the personal relationship, could you give me some insights of when you did speak to each other or catch up with each other, what would you talk about, and what was the relationship like?
He always teased at me. Young boy, do you go to church? But I happen to be a Christian also. And I like his style. I like him always urging me to study more. So he has given me all the books, all kinds of. I still have some nice books on the shelf. But personally, I would say, as a leader, he is a very good model for us to learn. Of course, he's the president of the country. His responsibility is far bigger. But as a business leader, you also always can learn from him, because you have to take the responsibility, but not necessarily to speak out so loudly. You can quietly, with a low profile, you can get things done, make things happen. And that is something really, for me, is very useful.
But Chairman, you've pointed to those qualities. They seem to be very consistent across the different interviews I've had. When we talk about when we talk about the Ramos presidency, beyond just the Philippines, into a pan-Asian perspective, what do you think was his contribution to leadership for Asia itself as an elder statesperson for the region, not just for the Philippines?
Well, I'm not a politician. I cannot say on behalf of these people. But whenever I met with the business leaders or the national leaders, everyone talk about President Ramos. They will say this, thumbs up. So I'm sure many leaders really appreciate him, and he is of some substance, but he doesn't talk so much.
About it.
Yeah.
Chairman, finally, as we close this interview, and I really do thank you for all this meaningful insights into his presidency and his leadership. If there's one thing that you could take away as him, as a friend, as a leader, as an individual, what would it be that stood out for you and for those who dealt with him?
First of all, he is a good teacher. Secondly, I think he is a good providing the guidance, good guide. And I hope that he will continuously to lead us and to guide us all the way through. And I'm sure that the Philippines still need a further development. You have come a long way, and you have a very good economic growth so far, but I'm sure your potential is far bigger. So jointly, if we can cooperate hand in hand, we can do much more. And that's why I have our Dr. O, who used to be the minister, and ask him to join the private sector and also to lead our joint program in the Philippines. And seems to me he's doing very successfully. And I am anticipating there will be not only the bilateral, it will be a more multinational kind of corporations. And both Philippines, and Taiwan, maybe Philippines can stand in the front because diplomatically you are more advantageous and more stronger. You have an image. So we can come together with you and we can do a more substantial work. Now I am asked by our government to try to look into the cooperation with India. India is more challenging. It's a huge country, a huge population, but I hope that they will soon come up with strong leaders, the leaderships, like President Ramos. Maybe some days President Ramos, or I can ask Mr. Modi, the Prime Minister, to meet with Mr. President Ramos to get the know-how from him, because India needs more effort, more, and it's the same thing. The economic model is the same, because in the Philippines, government doesn't own any piece of the land.
It's very more liberalized, yes.
Yes, all privately owned. And in India, also the same. They are very proud of their democracy. They say it's the biggest democracy. However, very inefficient. That means they need strong leaders. And then the government setup is also too complicated. Every province will have its own regulations and different laws. So it's very, very difficult for the economic development. In that regards, maybe I would like to, next time when I see the President Ramos, I would like to share his experience and I would pass it on to the Indian friends.
Well, Chairman Huang, I mean, all these insights that we've had from over 100 interviews will be synthesized into an oral history. So either way, whether it be a President Ramos giving him a lecture or giving him a synthesis of these lessons, your voice has been lent to this project, and I think it will be a lot of rewards for future leaders to look into this oral history. For the far-reaching comments and your wisdom and time, thank you very much for the opportunity and hosting us in your headquarters.
Thank you very much for reminding you many things. You know, I almost trying to, Now, Mr. O, I would become more serious in our Philippine project.
Well,
once again, I think you give me a very good stimulus.
Thank you, Chairman, and on our behalf of the team, thank you so much. And this is going to be in perpetuity already, forever, as a record to your humanity and your friendship with the Philippines.